Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pikmin 2. This episode we're trying to get to the bottom of the Citadel of Spiders, I mean the Dream Den. Very easy to think of with this one, isn't it? Because there are dweevils everywhere on this floor, and you have to basically do... My advice for this floor is tackle stuff in by order of danger. So I'm going with yellows to take on the anode dweevils first. Anode dweevils, as ever, they are the electric threat, and electric threats are the worst threats because they kill instantly without chance for any problems. You'll notice there is a... I'm going to actually take this out with yellows, which is really not advised, but I'm going to do it anyway. There is a whistle beetle flying around, being irritating, but I'm just going to ignore him till right at the end. So now I go around disarming electric gates and killing anode dweevils. Well, we managed to take out the antenna beetle anyway. Not that it hugely matters on this level anyway. A single munge dweevil, no, caustic dweevil even, the water type, seems to have worked its way into base. And you can rely on the fact on this floor, dweevils are generally passive creatures. They will not really attack unless they are seriously attacked. But that's also a chance I don't usually want to take. So, we've taken out all the electric crap. So, goal number 2 is poison. So, I'm going to split off the whites and take out... poison traps and any munge dweevils hanging around the place. Guys, fuck off. Fuck off. God. Pikmin separation, it's the worst. It is... Oh, no, this was the bad thing I was talking about. So, the Pikmin in my base naturally attacked that munge dweevil, and then it would have munged on them, which is bad. So that's the concern there of why you do want to occasionally fight them if they become too dangerous. Because when they're doing this and just slapping the bottom, they don't really deal any damage to them, but they do trigger their special defense, which would of course be very bad there. That pumpkin's spooky. Is that a blue dweevil? Yeah, it's a blue dweevil. We'll leave that alone till later. Yep, no, we don't want to attack him for now. Let him have his pumpkin. I don't care. That one isn't yet dweevil, but I suspect it will be soon, so we'll leave that alone. Fire is the next element to make a pass through this level with anyway. And with that, finally, I believe that's all the red and fire stuff taken care of. Now, finally, we just got to take care of the caustic dweevils. I just get those two the wrong way around with our blues. And with that done, I believe that is the mini Citadel of Spiders actually cleared. Ironically, probably has more dweevils in it than the actual Citadel of Spiders did. But yes, there we go. Cool. Right, time to start gathering. So, our first treasure back, this... I was going to say Russian doll, but it's not quite a Russian doll, but it's that kind of thing. It's a creepy doll, nonetheless. For 150 quid, the Extreme Perspirator. That name is odd and uncomfortable. Anyway, the pumpkin's nearly back, so speed her on, please. Pretty heavy, this thing, so it's very slow. So this creepy bastard, super appropriate, because today is the 27th of October that I'm recording, so... very much nearly Halloween. For 180 quid, the Possessed Squash, which is a great name. But with that, we are done on this level. Actually, Pikmin numbers are pretty good so far, I'll be honest. So let's head down to the only rest floor in the Dream Den. Now, your main kind of source of actual, like, rest materials here is beetles. There's a fair few of them around. There is an iridescent glint beetle, an iridescent flint beetle, and 2, I believe, doodlebugs. So I'm going to go and track them down. With whites, because whites are the fastest for throwing and maneuvering. So, this being the last cave in the game, it is not so nice as to give you queen candy pops or anything like that. Doesn't even give you any eggs, you've got to chase down doodlebugs for all of your stuff. But we have got everyone flowered, 84 flowered Pikmin is good, and an obscene amount of sprays. And this is great, because this next level is probably the hardest single level in the game. I hate it, it's just so much can go wrong so fast. I'll be amazed if we don't lose significant Pikmin numbers on this, and I'm glad we got all of those sprays for exactly this reason. So you've seen this pattern before, definitely, and it just a lot depends on how easily we can get to the shore. The shore is alright, actually. So I'm going to move everyone over here straight away. And burp everything here. We need to clear out this shore as quickly as possible. Cool, that actually went pretty well. Now, the real question is, nope, don't zoom in now. Can I hide people safely over here? You'll hear a groink around. That groink is now my next target. If I can get, basically, I want to get everyone else safe in the corner, which we have got, which is great, and then there's your groink. Wonderful. So, why am I pointing over there? Alright, I'm going to try and kill this groink as quickly as possible. Farting also then Burping even avoids the problem that you sometimes have with groinks, but not fast enough. Damn it. Okay, so the groink is dead, but hopefully the web will be in our favour. Oh shit, there's a purple with us here. How's he doing there? Cool. Yes, the web was actually in our favour, as in this is a relatively straightforward path to take the groink back. Whew. Cool. Good. I can relax a bit now. Still not entirely, because there is a treasure on this floor which we need a certain number to get to. Where is it? Oh no. Well, it's going to be on the other side, isn't it? Where is it? What the fuck? Oh, it's in that jelly float. Cool. Useful. Right. I am going to fart everyone up. When I say everyone, I just mean my blues. And the farted blues are going to be the real workhorse of this level here. If it looks like you're about to lose Pikmin, just fart. Seriously. A burp even. Panic burps, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a panic burp in this level. We have the sprays, we can do it, and should indeed do it. And I just want to, with the speeder on, clear as much of this as possible. I'm gonna do a couple more farts, perhaps when necessary for fighting the more dangerous enemies. But generally, should be fine. So, I've left a few enemies on forts. Hopefully we've got enough to carry this thing. Cool, and if the web is in my favour, I ain't going to bother fighting anything else on this floor as well, and I think the web should be. Again, for those who forget, by the web I mean the layout, the directions which Pikmin take to go back to the onion, because those are entirely fixed. Cool, this is the only treasure on the floor, so it means I don't have to bother fighting any of the other nasty stuff, which is at least good. And it appears to be Napoleon, which is very strange, but this is the Talisman of Life. What is that, a Mahjong deck, or just a deck of cards, something like that? Hard to tell. But I'm going to flower up the few of these who died. Who just got deflowered, I suppose. We lost no Pikmin on that floor, I think. I think we had about 84 when we came down. Holy shit, that floor is normally incredibly dangerous. That went so well, actually, and it's worth using a couple of sprays for that peace of mind, quite frankly. Let's roll! Now, this level isn't evil like the last one, but it can just be a bit of a mess, because there's a lot of stuff going on. And it's all just about clearing space. But the issue is, there's too many enemies around to really go through and clear the traps with only the appropriate colour of Pikmin. So you have to be a little bit smarter, I suppose. It's got quite a complicated layout, which does vary quite a lot, and I seem to have got quite a good one here. And there's a bread bug we haven't seen for ages. He will wander around, he will occasionally suck some of the treasures up, and I'm just going to basically ignore him for now. I'm going to ignore everything for now and go round the back here. Let's see what we got. So, we've got electricity in an uncomfortable place, we've got poison in uncomfortable places. That sounds like it's up my arse or something. Right, let's clear some of this up and we'll move from there at least. Oh shit, I didn't even see that. What's it called there? Is he... Nope, cool. Let's see what we can do. I know it takes him a couple of seconds to surface, so hopefully we can take out that poison container in that time. Cool, and then we'll switch over to purples. And hopefully do some damage with these. Cool, we can block him successfully, and whistle everyone back before we run into problems there with the electric gate. That electric gate is placed in an incredibly unhelpful position. As in, it doesn't even make any sense. Why is it there? Oh well, it shouldn't actually stop us from being able to get rid of it. I've gone into a weird top-down perspective mode where I'm not particularly comfortable with that, but... Right. Well, there's a bit of treasure on top of me, obviously, there. But I am going to bring everyone through here. This area at least seems to be safe, so... What am I going to do? Unfortunately, I'm annoyed that my Pikmin losses, while they've been generally pretty good, have been asymmetrical. I only have 11 reds, and that's it, which is irritating. Which means fighting these guys is time-consuming. Oh well. Oh shit. So once I've taken this guy out, which I have. So weirdly, the only two treasures in the area are there and there. So it's actually they're both here, but. While there is a free path to the end, I bet you anything the web goes through that web of nonsense, because that's how this game works. So, I'm actually going to deplug this first. And then, well, best take this all on one by one. I'm going to try and... What's the best way of fighting this guy? I'm just going to ignore him for now, just because there's too much of a chance of the web going in nasty ways, and I want to... Obviously, you can only fight bread bugs if you remember all the way back. You can only fight bread bugs by actually bringing them back to your onion. And that means I'll have to pull through that area anyway, and that's just not a risk I particularly want to take. So I'll wait for him to kind of clear out the way a little bit. Then I'm going to... There we go. Then, with purples at the helm, I'm going to try and clear as much of this area as quickly as possible. Cool, we managed, should be able to stun lock everyone pretty much. Cool, that's great. Another fucking weird electric gate is there. Oh shit, bags, there's a more, what are they called? Oh, why did I throw a blue there? I didn't throw a blue. Well, right. Cool, we've pretty much cleared everything now, so I'm just going to take out that electric gate just before that becomes a terrible problem. And we'll deal with stuff there. The bread book hasn't actually managed to suck up any of the treasure, so that shouldn't really be a problem, but hey, I'll clear up things anyway. 81 with only a couple floors left to do. Actually, this has been, all things considered, a pretty optimal run of the Dream Den, I must admit. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a quirk to the Dream Den I haven't talked about yet. The optimum Pikmin to get all the treasures for it is far from the optimum Pikmin numbers to actually, of course I was right, the web does go through there, is far from the optimum Pikmin numbers to, or make up to fight the final boss of the dungeon and of the game. And so I'm going to do something weird in order to handle that. What I'm going to do is, well, okay, I'll talk about that in a second. So this is the boss stone for 110. Let's put everyone on this just so he'll come back and not be a problem. Cool, right, let's do some more just hoovering up off camera. And our second treasure, I have literally no idea, I guess it's a bottle cap, but this is the Yellow Taste Tyrant for 100 quid. So that should be it for this floor, so I can't be asked to get these final few corpses. Let's head down to floor 12. Okay, this hasn't been too bad, actually. Oh, it's not an ideal start. The position of that orange is not great. Right. I gotta be ready on a panic burp for in case it comes up. I can't stun lock him successfully, but I have stun locked him successfully. Cool. His position next to the poison was a bit far from ideal, but right. I'm actually going to separate everyone out and clear some poison stuff first, just to make sure we don't run into any problems. Oh, and of course I managed to bring a blue with me. Brilliant. Right, cool. With that out of the way, at least we can gather this. Let's just bring all this in now to clear myself a bit of space to think. A lot of these later ones especially, it just really depends on how you start. Like, sometimes you just start in hell and you need to clear a way out quickly, and then you can actually move from there. But yes, for 130 quid, this is, I think, mussels or something like that. Endless repository. Clams! Baby clams, it says on the side of it in big English letters. I'm just a fool. Right, you can see there's an antenna beetle around, and I believe there is a buried treasure somewhere on this floor. Often there tends to be when there's antenna beetles around, because the chances of you finding that treasure before the beetle's taken out are essentially zero, so... Right, is there anything useful behind this? Probably not. And I bet it's going to drop some shit on me. Unless... No, it's just on the off chance that was where a buried treasure happened to be. But it's that kind of thing that you wouldn't be able to get through at all without taking out the antenna beetle. I'm going to clear this door with everyone, and then I'm going to go inside and start taking out these poison things where I can. I'm aware there's a brog in the corner. Brog? Wollyhop in the corner there. I was thinking poison brog, which is from another game. Let's grab these guys then. This is only... Yep, this is only whites. Excellent. We've actually, I must say, Pikmin numbers have come through this much better than I expected. I'm almost tempted to take on the boss. What the? That's not on. But I know it'll just end badly for me, and I'll just lose Pikmin, and more importantly, time. Basically, you'll hear a lot more about this next episode. The late game of Pikmin 2 is where it's at its weakest. It has very long caves, which take a very long time, and aren't hugely fun or even challenging. They're just time-consuming. And then on top of that, you have the issue of the final boss, which is incredibly not difficult, just slow and time-consuming. So it's... Yeah, you'll certainly... Don't worry, next episode will be full of my thoughts on it. But that's why I kind of don't want to take on with a suboptimal team and then risk it not being beatable or beatable and taking ages. I'd rather come back with an optimal team. That was a very nice taking out of that Wollyhop, though, if I do say so myself. Right. At least we got the antenna beetle killed, so so with that, we can hopefully open up a bit more of an area for exploration. I'm aware that this is another irritating place for a frog to be. Can you not be like this? Oh! There we go. At least the poison's cleared now. Right, let's switch over to me purples, and at least I can fight this guy relatively quickly with purples. Stun locking! The purple stun locking is so... It's almost broken, but it's bloody handy. It definitely is. Right, I'll just clear the remainder of this level, and, well, apart from that orange bulb, I'll leave that there. Ah, so the treasure is clearly behind there. Cool, I'll get to that in just a second. Cool, everything should just about be cleared now. So I am going to... I guess the treasure isn't buried, or... Oh, it is just buried behind that door. Yeah, that's the thing, you wouldn't really bother knocking out a door and then sweeping behind it with white while the antenna beetle is going. It's far easier to actually be able to use the treasurometer. This game would be almost unusable were it not for the treasurometer. I always kind of forget that that isn't in Pikmin 1, because you have the whimsical radar that shows them on the map, and obviously you can't see treasures on the map on this. But it's just, yeah, I always forget... Because I think of them as being very similar, I often do forget the meaningful differences between the two games. Anyway, let's hoover up that final treasure. And that for 100 Pocos is probably the final one in this rings collection as well, the Universal Com. Wonderful. And that's it for this floor. Only one floor left to go now. Apart from the boss floor, of course, but that's a bit different. So, this floor can be a bit nasty, but we have a nice advantage here. So this is the miniaturized version of Bulblack's Kingdom. It's tiny and there's just bulbs everywhere. The thing to remember for this one is, so burps are completely useless against the final boss. They really are. Okay, they're not completely useless, but their uses are very few. If you've got remaining burps at this point, you may as well use them here just to make your life that bit easier, because quite frankly, you ain't gonna need them going forwards. Anyway, there is some Kiwi shoe polish for 80 quid, and that is the alien billboard and should be our final treasure and the only one on this floor. Yep, cool. Not going to bother fighting any more of these. Just going to run past with the president, and down to the next floor we go! So, the final level, with the final boss in the middle of it. And as I mentioned, we are not going to do it this level. Basically, certain colours of Pikmin, so there's your boss in the middle there, with Louis! But we're going to sort that later. So certain colours of Pikmin, especially purple Pikmin, are almost useless in this fight, to the point where, I mean, they are actually, I would say purple Pikmin are completely useless in this fight. You just want more numbers of more useful Pikmin. I'm going to end the episode here. We're going to return to the surface by this geyser. Then I'm going to come back down the sneaky way between episodes, and I'm going to bring a team, I'll remind you of it tomorrow, but a team of 25 reds, 25 whites, and 50 yellows. Mostly yellows, actually. So we'll be back with that team. You do need that team to kind of make it through some of the levels, like because there are plugs and there is sometimes poison between you and the goals and stuff like that. So you got to bring a bit of a bounce team, and it's useful for this for the boss as well. But obviously now I've got all the treasures. Going back down through the cave should be pretty painless. So let's escape to the surface with our Pikmin. So we've got most of it. We should have, I believe, 17 treasures total? 16. Oh, that's alarming. No, yeah, there's 5 treasures from the final boss. It's great. So we lost 19 Pikmin doing almost all of the Dream Den. That's really good. Cool. That has been the Dream Den. Next episode, I hope you join me for the final boss of the Dream Den and of Pikmin as a whole. Hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.